every day, more and more Americans are using drones, from everything from hobby flights to commercial applications, as well as law enforcement activities. Drones can offer important societal and economic benefits, but they can also cause problems if they are not used appropriately. Recently in New Jersey, we've seen reports of loud and menacing drones. And while the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, and other key agencies have assured the public that these drones pose no immediate Homeland Security threat, they have certainly caused unease and concern for many Americans. Rogue drones can interfere with commercial air traffic, as we saw with the recent closure of runways at a New York airport, as well as large public gatherings like football games or concerts. The National Football League, a key supporter of this legislation, has shared that at recent seasons they have seen more than 2,500 drones violate the airspace around stadiums, and in some cases leading to them stopping the football games to resolve potential threats to their fans as well as to their teams. We've also seen how drones operate by a bad actor can quickly become a very serious security threat. This summer, an assailant used a drone to surveil President-elect Trump's rally site in Butler, Pennsylvania, just hours before firing shots in a horrific assassination attempt. And that's why I've been working to pass bipartisan legislation that would address these concerns by giving law enforcement the tools and the authorities that they need to detect, to identify, and track drones to ensure that they do not pose any risk to Americans. My legislation, which passed out of the committee that I chair, Homeland Security and Government Affairs, passed unanimously last Congress, out of committee, would equip law enforcement agencies, including state and local police, like the officials currently dealing with the ongoing situation in New Jersey, with the tools to better detect and to track drones and identify cases where they may pose a security threat to large public gatherings, airports, critical infrastructure facilities, as well as our communities. Most urgently, this bill would ensure that law enforcement has the technology needed to quickly and clearly identify exactly what the reported sightings of drones across the country actually are. If a drone is found to be a potential danger, our law enforcement agencies, they must have the tools to mitigate these threats effectively. And that's why my bill would allow the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Justice to operate a pilot program so that state and local law enforcement agencies can conduct drone mitigation activities to safely disable threatening drones before they cause serious harm. This legislation has strong bipartisan support here in the U.S. Senate. We currently have 28 co-sponsors from both sides of the aisles, 14 Democrats, 11 Republicans, and 3 independents. And as the number of registered drones continue to grow, so does the need to pass this critical legislation to ensure that our law enforcement agencies can address these potential threats. So I urge my colleagues to join me in passing this common sense bill to safeguard our homeland and ensure that law enforcement can better protect our communities from the potential threats posed by recklessly or nefariously operated drones. So I ask unanimous consent that the Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs be discharged from further consideration of S. 1631, and the Senate proceed to its immediate consideration, that the Peters substitute amendment, which is at the desk, be considered and agreed to, and the bill as amended be considered read a third time and passed, and the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.